Well, hello, my Spark friends. I am out and about trying to get some things done today, and I just wanted to pause to talk to you for a few minutes. And we're going to look at Isaiah 38, just the beginning part of verse 7, and it says, "This is the Lord's sign to you, that the Lord will do what he promised." Now, I want you to think about it. God promised to never flood the earth again by sending a rainbow. Has the entire earth ever flooded? No, sections have, but never the entire earth. He promised. God promised that he would send Jesus into the world, did he? God has promised over and over and over many, many things. And there's just two things that he's promised to us. When you want to know what time it is, how do you know? Do you look at a watch? Do you look at the wall? Do you look at a phone? Do you look at a clock? Well, the ancient Egyptians didn't have any of those things. So they invented the sundial about 3,500 years before Jesus was born. And it was the first time a time-telling instrument existed. And that's how we've gotten all the way up to how we can tell time today. Because the earth always moves around the sun in the same direction, a sundial could tell the time. But now we've taken technology and we can tell the time in a whole different way. But I want you to understand something. God has promised many things. And in this passage of Isaiah, he promised, listen to this is the rest of the verse, verses 7 and 8. "I will make the shadow cast by the sun go back the 10 steps it has gone down the stairway of Ahaz." Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense to us until we look at 2 Kings 20, which tells us this exact story, that God did exactly what he said. And good King Hezekiah was very sick then, and he wept and prayed and begged God to heal him. At last, God said to Hezekiah that he would live for 15 more years, but Hezekiah asked for a sign to prove that. And this is when God did exactly what this says. In Isaiah, the prophecy came true. That the shadow cast by the sun went back 10 steps down the stairway of Ahaz. And it was a sign to Hezekiah to show that God meant what he said. So what Isaiah said actually happened in 2 Kings. A great stairway stood nearby, and God made the shadow climb backwards 10 steps. And Hezekiah knew this was a promise from God. Now, we don't need this kind of proof because we've seen so many things that God does. I just want you to realize there's one way that we can look. Actually, I just shared 3 ways how we can look and see how God will always honor his promises to us.